station that others look up to. A station where professionalism and class come to play. So in whatever we do, be it news, sports, politics, information and culture, even in entertainment, tourism, education, documentaries and kids programming, we set the standard others want to beat. And CH10, no one does it better. And CH10, station of excellence.
News tonight. Organized labor endorses Governor Sanwo-Olu's second-term bid. As Lagos police sensitizes journalists on fake news as 2023 general election fast approaches. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the news at 7. I am Oluwa Bukola Akonde on the news. The organized labor movement in Lagos State says the immense contribution by Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu to the actualization of its programs and life transforming initiative to make life more meaningful for public servants in the state to put governor in a good standing for a second term in the office. This was at a political rally organized by the labor movement, Tag Labor for Sanwo-Olu, to drum support for the governor's second term bid in the state. Musa Toliat report.
Labor solidarity songs put into practice as the organized labor movement in Lagos State endorsed the re-election of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and his deputy Abafemi Hamzat for second term in office. The leadership of Labour stressed that the active participation in politics is born out of the need to ensure good governance is sustained across the metropolis.
We have always been talking 600,000, 800,000. This one, I follow, we want to support this man.
And we have agreed, we have endorsed, we have decided, we have determined that the man that we know that has listened to us is the man that we will work with.
Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu promised that the symbiotic relationship between government and labor will be taken to the next level when he returns to office after the general elections in March this year.
We know that you have choices in life, but you have come out on your own, with your own position, with your own leadership to say this is what you want to do. I want to thank you. We feel very humble. What this tells us is that we need to do a lot more.
In the belated development, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu promised to ensure speedy completion of Lagos-Badagry Expressway and adjoining road infrastructure projects in communities along the axis. He gave the assurance at the Lagos State Central District Governorship Mega Rally organized by the All Progressives Congress in the Janiki axis of Lagos-Badagry Expressway.
And your children that are going to various schools, they will feel the impact. They will feel the impact of all of our intervention in public school. This is what we're doing. This is our commitment.
The rally was attended by party faithful, stakeholders and candidates of the party in the Central District who promised their unwavering support for the party in the 2023 general elections. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
As part of efforts by the federal government to address the challenges in the power sector, a task force constituted by the Minister of Power has commenced assessment and monitoring of power installations in the transmission and distribution value chain across the country. Musa Toliat reports that the team, led by Managing Director of Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, Aliyu Tariu, inspected installation at the two electricity distribution company in Lagos.
The The task force, led by the Managing Director, Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, NEMSA, Aliu Tahir, is to ensure electricity is stable, safe, and reliable. So, the distribution companies were made to present their health and safety models for assessment.
This starts from the safety manual, so we do the safety manual and then respond some of our observations so that manual can be improved.
The task force then took an on-the-spot assessment of the transmission injection substations to ascertain the capacity of the 33 kV feeder by feeder to support the downstream loads of the distribution networks. The task force also has the mandate to check if the feeder lines effectively deliver safe and stable electricity to the injection substations. It was discovered that none of the two power distribution companies complied and showed willingness to subject their electrical installations to testing and certification with NEMSA.
We are not here to find faults, but to help by working together to solve the problems of the power sector. This call may be presented with findings and also be requested to rectify some of the identified defects.
The power distribution companies were urged to cooperate with NEMSA task force to stamp out inflow of substandard electrical materials so that electrical accidents are reduced in their franchise areas. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
Lagos State Police Command, in recognition of possible dangers posed by fake news and its effect on security in the forthcoming general elections, has organized a one-day symposium to sensitize journalists in the state. Justin Moses was there for NTA Lagos.
Are not only misleading but also often generate crisis, which in most cases destabilizes national peace and security. With over 13,300 polling units, the largest in the country, Lagos State Police Command and INEC told journalists to ensure accurate news dissemination and avoid fake news as the election draw near.
This has become wiser with the advent of internet, which enables unfettered sharing of information among people on social media. Fake news spreads like wildfire in every facet of our society, which, if not checked, will skew the electoral outcome and disunite the nation.
Fake news is a negative trend that must be made to the board because of its potential to mark the 2023 general election.
Either in form of disinformation or misinformation, stakeholders reminded journalists to avoid fake news, often sponsored by politicians and their allies during electioneering periods. The participants were also reminded that they will be held accountable for their editorial lapses.
Broadcasters shall, in using political materials for news and current affairs program, avoid hate speech, inflammatory, derogatory, and divisive remarks or allusions.
To you, before you begin to churn out bad news, I commend you to stop first. As a stop, take an evaluation or a closer scrutiny of the content of the news you desire to churn out.
Fake news can cause a lot of trauma apart from to the general public, the individual themselves, morally, emotionally, socially. Some people can go as far as committing suicide because of fake news.
The symposium, which has as its theme 2023 general elections, fake news and its implication on security, was aimed at sensitizing members of the fourth estate of the realm on its roles towards achieving a peaceful and crisis-free 2023 general elections. In Lagos, Desreton, Moses, and News.
After the short timeout, the news continues. Stay tuned.
In spite of these challenges,
serene, beautiful, and comfortable environment for your event, then NTA Lagos Channel 10 premises is the place with about 3,065 capacity. NTA Lagos Channel 10 premises provides a well-secured land and car parking lot for your wedding reception, birthday party, church, and school end of the year event. Our conference hall is convenient for company annual general meetings, lectures, seminars or workshops. With just 150,000 naira only, you can use our entire space and also have your event covered and aired on our social diary program, Maryland. For more inquiries, please contact our marketing department, NT Lagos Channel 10, Tejesho, or call our telephone number, Chibuzo 0812-324-5519, Gmo 0803 830-1669. NTL Lagos Channel 10 premises, affordable just for you.
Welcome back and thanks. If you're just joining us, this is NTL Lagos Channel 10 News at 7. The Central Bank of Nigeria will not renege on the decision to phase out the old Naira notes by the end of January 2023 in order to create a venue to adequate circulation of the redesigned note. Branch Controller Lagos State, Godfrey Kuyo, while interacting with some businesses operators at Balogun Market, said the bank has enough redesigned notes in supply for deposit money banks. Bolade Salami reports.
Naira notes launched by the Central Bank of Nigeria since December 15, 2022 has generated concerns and worries about the scarcity of the notes in circulation. While many believe the Apex Bank will shift the deadline due to the high volume of liquidity yet to be retracted to commercial bank vaults, others query the position of banks for not making the notes available at various payment points. To allay the fears of Nigerians on the availability of the redesigned Naira notes, Central Bank of Nigeria, through a sensitization meeting with stakeholders, were assured that necessary measures are being taken to ensure deposit money banks have enough redesigned notes for customers.
In circulation before now, and we are replacing. You will not expect 100% at the same time, but the banks were supplying to the banks, and the banks will be replacing them. But this is an order coming from the Apex Bank that all ATM machines henceforth should be loaded only with the new notes. And so we expect compliance from the banks, and we believe that they are complying because they know the implication of non-compliance.
The move by the bank to also educate stakeholders on the security features of the redesigned Naira notes resuscitated the hope of many.
With everything I have seen notes, to me I think it is perfect. You know, in Nigeria, when something is introduced new, there's going to be complaint. Even when the other old notes, when it was first in circulation, it was the same thing. But as time goes on, if the old note is out of circulation, they will appreciate what they have. So far, before now, I'll say from the bank, they will not see much of it from the bank because they're still dispensing old notes. But they are.
For now, it is a waiting game to see how the situation will be resolved as Nigerians count down to the January 31st, 2023 deadline.
Let's join Ayodeji Makinde for the sports update.
In the Nigerian Women's Football League, the 6 matches played on Wednesday, Delta Queens and Edo Queens maintained top position in Groups A and B as Delta Queens were able to hold former champions Rivers Angels to a goalless draw at the University of Port Harcourt Field. Niger Rattles drew 1-1 against their visiting opponents Bayelsa Queens, while Adamawa Queens were 1 goal better than Nasarawa Queens, and Confluence Queens defeated Robo Queens. Away from Nigeria, the English Premier League continues with another round of matches as Fulham play host to Chelsea at Craven Cottage. Marco Silva's side are 3 places better than Graham Potter's Chelsea as Fulham are placed 7th with 28 points, while the Blues are 10th on 25 points. Chelsea have lost 3 of their last 5 league matches, and the Cottagers have won 3 of their last 5 matches.
It is a game between the 7th position team against the 10th position. Fulham in the 7th position. They didn't just get there by luck. They are a very good side. So if you want to consider the performance of late, then it's going to be a very tough match. They want to prove a point to Chelsea that yes, they too, they can play good football.
And when you look at the head-to-head, it favors Chelsea. Chelsea have not lost to Fulham in a very long time in the league. And so that's the big plus that they go into this fixture with.
In tennis, 5th-seeded Daria Kasatkina has defeated 12th-seeded Petra Kvitova to reach the semi-finals of the Adelaide International. Kasatkina won 6-3, 7-6 on Thursday over the two-time former Wimbledon champion, while Paula Badosa also advanced and will face Kasatkina after defeating Beatriz Haddad-Maia 7-6, 7-5. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
And that ends the news. I am Oluwabukola Akonde. Up next is the translation of the news in Yoruba with Benga Oloyede. Stay tuned.
Ẹ̀sìnkú dédé àsìkò yìí àkójọpọ̀ ìròyìn ló ń dé sí etí ìgbọ̀nyín láti lè ṣe amóhùnmáwòrán ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó wà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Gbẹ̀ngàn Olóyèdè ni oníròyìn ìròyìn rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ Labour ẹ̀ka tìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ni wọ́n ti fọwọ́ sí ṣíṣe ìgbìlẹ́yìn fún gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ọ̀gbẹ́ni Babájídé Sanwó-Olú láti lọ sí sáà ìṣèjọba lẹ́ẹ̀kejì níbi ètò ìdìbò tí yóò wáyé nínú ọdún tí a wà yìí látàrí àwọn iṣẹ́ takuntakun tí gómìnà Sanwó-Olú ti ṣe ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ òṣìṣẹ́ Labour ẹ̀ka tìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ọ̀hún ni wọ́n parapọ̀ bíi bàbá ìṣúra ní agbègbè Ìjànìkè ní ẹlẹ́gbẹ́jẹgbẹ́ láti fọwọ́ sí sáà kejì fún gómìnà Babájídé Sanwó-Olú. Nínú akitiyan ohun ìlàkàkà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ìṣèjọba àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí láti yanjú gbogbo àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ tó ń dojúkọ ẹ̀ka iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná, àwọn ẹ̀ṣọ́ adámọ̀lẹ́kùn ìwà ìbàjẹ́ tí wọ́n gbé kalẹ̀ láti ọwọ́ mínísítà tó mójútó ẹ̀ka tó ń ṣe ìpèsè iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná ni wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ àgbéyẹ̀wò àti ìmójútó àwọn ojúkò tí wọ́n gbé ohun iná àmúṣagbára tàwọn ẹ̀ka ọ̀hún sí káàkiri àwọn ẹkùn tí wọ́n wà lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Musa Tuliat tó mú ìròyìn wá sọ wípé àwọn aṣáájú ìgbìmọ̀ tí wọ́n yàn ọ̀hún, èyí tí ọ̀gá àgbà olùṣàkóso ẹkùn iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ti ẹ̀ka NEMSA Aliu Tahe ni wọ́n ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí ojúkò tí wọ́n gbé ẹ̀ka iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná tìpínlẹ̀ Èkó sí. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ọ̀kan pàtàkì nínú ojúṣe ààyè ọ̀gá àgbà olùṣe ìgbàkóso ẹ̀ka mọ̀nàmọ́ná ọ̀hún ni láti rí wípé ààbò tó péye ń bẹ láti ṣe ìpèsè iná tí kò lábàwọ́n àti láti túbọ̀ ní àwọn àgbékalẹ̀ tó mú okùn dání. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe àkíyèsí wípé àwọn ẹ̀ka méjèèjì tó ń ṣe ìpèsè iná tẹ̀lé ìlànà ṣíṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ohun èlò iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná wọn láti lè ní òkúnjú òṣùwọ̀n ní ọ̀dọ̀ àjọ NEMSA. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni àwọn ẹ̀ka tó ń ṣe ìpèsè iná mọ̀nàmọ́ná ni wọ́n rọ̀ láti jọ̀wọ́ ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú àjọ NEMSA tí wọ́n jẹ́ àjọ adámọ̀lẹ́kùn láti lè bu ọwọ́ lu òǹtẹ̀ ohun èlò tí wọ́n ní kí àwọn ohun èlò iná wọn ba lè ní ìṣàgbàkóso ní ẹ̀ka tí wọ́n wà. Ọ̀kan gbòógì ìfimúgbòòrùn ewu tó ń kọlẹ̀kùn ẹkùn ọlọ́pàá ti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó látàrí àwọn ayédèrú ìròyìn àti àwọn ìpalára tí ìwà ayédèrú ìròyìn lè fà fún ètò ààbò ní àsìkò ètò ìdìbò àpapọ̀ ló mú ẹkùn ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tẹ́pẹpẹ ètò ìlàlọ́yẹ̀ fún àwọn akọ̀ròyìn ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Jésùtàn Moses tó jábọ̀ ìròyìn sọ wípé ayédèrú ìròyìn ló jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú ìwà tó lè ṣì àwọn ènìyàn lọ́nà, bákan náà ló tún jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú ìwà tó lè fa rògbòdìyàn fàákájà èyí tó lè fa ìdàrúdàpọ̀ sí àlàáfíà àti ààbò àpapọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. Ṣùgbọ́n lábẹ́ bí ó ti wù kó rí, àjọ elétò ààbò ni wọ́n jẹ́ ọ̀kan nínú ẹ̀ka tí wọ́n ń fọkàn sí láti dìde kojú àwọn kùdìẹ̀kudiẹ tó ń fa ìpalára bá ètò ààbò àti onírúurú rògbòdìyàn tó lè fojú hàn ní àwùjọ. bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó tó ní 13 sí 14 àti 106 ojúkò ìdìbò tó wà ní olúlu ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan àràbà ìpínlẹ̀ lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ló mú àjọ INEC àti ẹ̀kọ́ ọlọ́pàá ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó ké pe àwọn akọ̀ròyìn láti jọ̀wọ́ kópa nínú àgbékalẹ̀ ìròyìn tí kò ní àbàwọ́n kan bákan náà kí wọ́n sì tún yẹra fún àwọn àkójọpọ̀ ayédèrú ìròyìn bí ètò ìdìbò àpapọ̀ ṣe ń sún mílítílé bákan náà ni wọ́n sọ fún àwọn akọ̀ròyìn láti yẹra fún ìròyìn tó lè ṣì àwọn ènìyàn lọ́nà àwọn alẹ́nulọ́rọ̀ wá túbọ̀ rọ àwọn akọ̀ròyìn láti jọ̀wọ́ yẹra fún ayédèrú ìròyìn èyí tí àwọn olóṣèlú ṣe olùgbọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ àti àwọn kùdẹ̀kudẹ òmíràn tó lè farahàn ní àsìkò ìdìbò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n túbọ̀ rọ àwọn akọ̀ròyìn láti ran àwọn akọ̀ròyìn létí wípé àwọn yóò dojú kọ wọ́n fún ohunkóhun tó lè mú wọn kùnà ojúṣe ààyè wọn lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ wọn tí wọ́n yàn láàyò àkórí ètò náà tí wọ́n pè ní ayédèrú ìròyìn àti ìpalára rẹ̀ nínú ààbò ló jẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ nínú èyí tí wọ́n bá gbé kalẹ̀ tí kò mú àbàwọ́n lọ́wọ́. ẹ̀ka ilé ìfowópamọ́ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n sọ pé wọn kò ní dáwọ́ dúró ìpinnu tí wọ́n ṣe láti kó àgbà ọ̀jẹ̀ owó náírà kúrò nílẹ̀ ní ìparí oṣù kínní ọdún tí a wà yìí láti lè túbọ̀ fààyè gba owó tuntun náírà láyè láti ní ibùjókòó ìfojúhàn nínú káàkiri agbègbè lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí olùdarí ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó Godfrey Kọ́yọ̀ ní àsìkò tó ní ìfomijomitoro ọ̀rọ̀ pẹ̀lú àwọn oníṣòwò kan ní ọjà Balógun tó wà ní Erébùsù lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sọ wípé àwọn ilé ìfowópamọ́ ní ọ̀pọ̀ yanturu owó tuntun láti fún síta ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn báǹkì tí wọ́n ń tẹ́wọ́ gba owó sínú ilé ìfowópamọ́. Tọ́ àtúnjí lóhun tàṣálẹ̀ òní Jésù tó Moses ti wà níkàlẹ̀ láti mú ìyókù ròyìn wá fún ilé ìdìbò gbìngbà lóde kìyìn èrè o.
Mekudo wajayi mikwabo mekudo dolini die so NTA Jesuton Moses well you know. Oyibo ye azo sigbe to àwọn matemele to din wekudo ya do na ye do ye ni pon he yi nu wa he àwọn mategan baba Jide Sanwo-Olu ko yi wa na to di ke omodo nu he yi o pagbe tan le eto nu kan yi he wana àwọn mategan lo mokede do azo sile ene si o gbeme ìrámọ̀dọ̀ tó dín lọ yìí sọ gọ́ọ̀lọ̀ mẹ́wàá ló pótógọ́ náà ló jẹ́ ògán tẹ̀mẹ̀ tàídì àìmọ́tẹ̀gá tó àwọn onímọ̀tẹ̀mọ̀wàá ló pótógọ́ tó wọ́n fi bọ́lá sínú wà yìí tó pé tó ní iye tó fọlọ́dọ̀ tó pínlẹ̀ èébá yìí náà tó báyìí ò núlélá náà àìmọ́tẹ̀gá nígbà mẹ́tọ̀ Musa tọ́lé àfẹ́tì tó ní wà lọ́tẹ̀ ẹ̀gọ́ bọ́ yìí dókíádọ̀ àzọ́sílẹ̀ wẹ́tò gbọ́dọ̀ na Sanwo-Olu ẹ̀rọ ní òfúsọ náà òpinlọ nígbà yìí tó gbé ètò àwọn onímọ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹ̀ ládọ́dọ̀ yìí tí ètò gbọ́dọ̀ náà àyímọ̀tẹ̀gá Sanwo-Olu. tó di tó lẹ́gẹ̀dẹ̀ níwà tó gbọ́ ọdún tó mọ̀ ẹ̀dá tó di kẹ́ mọ̀dọ̀ mìíràn tíríkì tó sí òtùkọ́ ètò pípẹ́ òtòmìnirẹ́ ètò tó gbọ́ ẹ̀yìn òdìlé yìí kẹwàá òfìfúnnu ògbẹ́hẹ̀ àwọn tó gbọ́ ọdún kò ní dọ̀ àyí ládọ́ di kẹ́ mọ̀dọ̀ yìí pè mú kó ònú ìwà mìíràn tíríkì tó lẹ́sìn lógo tó gbọ́ pípẹ́ ìgọ̀ìgọ̀ lẹ́tọ̀gọ̀ tó gbọ́ àtọ́gbọ́dọ̀ dalẹ̀ wọ́n dé kó wá àwọn onímọ̀tẹ̀lẹ̀ ládọ́ di kẹ́ mọ̀dọ̀ yìí pè dé mìíràn tíríkì tó lẹ́sìn to azọwado Musa Toliat dọwẹ dọmẹrin òmùkọtọ náà sọgbàwéyà tó gbọwọlù pẹlẹdọ àyè ládùúgbò bọ omi ọdẹ tìkìtọ yóò délé nọ àlọpàá ẹyọmọ àpẹjì wẹyọ délé gbẹyẹfẹ yìí náà di nẹmsa òmùkọtọ ẹtọ Aliyu Tahir wọn òmùkọ náà sọgbàwéyà ládùúgbò mọdọ yẹwà kún omi ọdẹ tìkìtì àzọgbàwé èmi ó de kọ ẹlẹtírísítọ gbọdọ lórí Ìkẹjà ẹlẹtírísítọ pọ wẹyọ délé yẹ pọ àzọ wa ní ìtọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo ònínà mi àzọ kúlẹ̀lẹ̀ tọ́pọ̀ délé omi ọ́ sí ònú tó yí wá yìí ló bravo eré ìdílé yìí náà fún bùsọ̀ wà sọ méjì nídọ́pọ̀ àyè náà tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lẹ́yìn lódù fífi omi ẹ̀lẹ́tíríkì tán. òpèrè sọ́mọ́ ètò àwọn onímọ̀tẹ̀mẹ̀tọ̀ dé wáyé délé kò wé àwú náà ní ìzọ́ àtọ́lẹ̀ bo o no wa he yedo yi wale to Brazil to brawa yi to me to mo do he ba do ba yo po no ni so to le to àwọn ma to me to file to gbe wa yo de ni so mi ta me go do to bono so gbe àwọn ni ma te to we ye to ni so wa to le do na do ye do ho to de o ni e ma yi mu gbo siga he o gbogbo bẹpẹpẹ wọn náà wò bá lọtọ òyìnbẹ ẹnẹ otu wẹ òyìnbẹ yìí mẹ ìdọ mọtò tìtọlọjì lẹ òpónọgá àwọn ní mátẹtọ gbọdọ mẹhìn nùkọtọ náà zọgbàwé inec tó tó àwọn ní mátẹmẹ fílẹ dòyà dọrìnìzọ àtọlẹ ní dàlẹbù kẹkẹrẹ bò kíkẹrẹ mọdọ olùlẹyìn ìmúgbọlọ wẹ tó ṣèjẹ gbọnù náà ò nífẹẹ lónìí tẹmẹ ìmúgbọ náà bẹpẹ òvòlọ sí òtítọ mọ̀kẹ́rẹ́ ẹni tó dùn àwọn òbí wọn náà tó gbó bírèbù dọ̀ ẹ̀yìn òun lẹ́yìn máa ń dàgbé bí wọn náà tó gbó bẹ́ẹ̀ ìmọ̀tẹ́pọ̀ ẹni tó yẹn ní mọ̀dọ̀ ló lè mú gbó wọ́n yóò délé èyí tó sì jẹ́ gbọ́nu tó kò lẹ́ẹ̀pọ̀nù. Àkọsẹ̀wòrán zimbabwe tó gbó nàìjíríà tó ọ̀gẹ́ lè cbn tó dín wẹ́pọ̀ tó yá dọ̀ yìí máa ń kọ ìgòdò tó òòrùn ìwà ìtọ́mẹ tábìlì kẹ́mọ̀dọ̀ tó àzágbàánu kórópótọ̀ oṣù ìtọ́mẹ àkọ́kọ́lẹ̀ wọ̀nyí bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ àyí tábìlì kẹ́mọ̀dọ̀ yọyọ́ èyí kò bá ètò ìdílé ní òdòdó èso tíì tó òtòmẹ òmìnirin ònùkọ̀tọ̀ náà kọ́sẹ̀ ló fọ́rọ́ pé òtògbó dàrútọ̀ tó àwọn onímọ̀tẹ̀mẹ̀fìlẹ̀ Geoffrey Coyle wọ́n délé dọ̀hún lọ tó ìwé tó àyínámi báyìí náà gbẹ̀tọ́lẹ̀ tó balógun sí àhìmẹ̀ ilẹ̀ tó àwọn onímọ̀tẹ̀mẹ̀fìlẹ̀ gbogbo àpẹ lọ́yọ́ lọ sí òdàlẹ̀. Ilé ààfọ̀ náà lọ́tọ̀ tó jáde kájọ sọ tó kúrò sí nǹkan mẹ́ ìdọ́rẹ́gbẹ̀rẹ̀.